Time now for Weather Watch with meteorologist Matt Makens.
Matt Makens here. Time for another Weather Watch. Hope it finds you doing well. This time we're going to be chatting a little bit about what you may have just read in your Directions magazine or what you may see in the next National Cattleman. That's going to be some spring options. Plus, we'll talk about some summer too. A couple of graphics you'll see in some of those publications. One breaks down the strengths of El Nino and La Nina events and how they all differ. Plus, in next month's National Cattleman, you're going to be looking at how we may play out spring, summer, and fall as we go throughout this year. I know we're kind of getting into crunch time. Growing season is upon us. Where is the focus of moisture for the next several weeks? This animation is weekly. It's going through the rest of spring, and we'll get into summer as well. And the focal point of moisture is mostly going to be on the Central Plains, Northern Plains, and Northern Rockies. We'll spread some moisture out elsewhere during these weeks, of course, but that's going to be the focal point of the storm flow, central to northern states. As far as temperatures are concerned, we're going to go through April into May and also June here, and there's going to be some bouts of some colder temperatures throughout the Central Plains. Coming along with that moisture, that makes sense, right? A more active weather pattern with more moisture is going to be cooler a lot of the time, and that's certainly going to be the case. So cooler temperatures at times will hit the northern plains, central states down to the south, and kind of linger across the southwest due to the soil moisture being so high there. And that's mostly where we're going to have the cooler than normal conditions as we get into the growing season. Speaking of the growing season, we have soil temperatures that are still frozen, obviously, across the northern states. I put together this animation to show you the warming temperatures from late April. Now we're into May, and we're approaching the 60-degree mark across a great portion of the Corn Belt here as we get into May and also June, and now we're approaching later June, and temperatures are well above 70 degrees for those soils in a lot of cases. Why am I bringing this up? The heat that builds across Texas, Oklahoma, southwestern Kansas, New Mexico, across those soils, that is going to rapidly increase the onset of drought, and that is tied into that weather pattern that we've discussed in some of your publications recently of going away from El Nino, getting back to La Nina, and it's all tied together. That's what we'll be tracking as we go throughout this year. That wraps up this week's Weather Watch. We'll see you the next time.